Hey, Ty Brady here with Brady Insurance Marketing in the Ty Brady Way, one of the nation's largest field marketing organizations that helps independent agents achieve a 6- and 7-figure income with the systems and strategies that I'm going to talk about with you today. Welcome back to another episode of the Ty Brady Way. Today I'm here with Mike Pittock. Mike, thanks for being on the show today. I know I've been trying to track you down for a little while. And part of the reason I wanted to get you on the show is you've run a couple of successful businesses, and not only were they successful, but you made a transition, whether it was forced or not forced. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was in construction. Started construction with my father-in-law back in 1993.
Wow.
And started my own company in 97 and worked in construction till 2010. But the interesting thing is I looked at some of the older guys in construction, and they were old looking and haggard, and their bodies were broken. And I thought, you know, I want to be able to, when I retire, go golfing, be able to travel, do some fun stuff. And so I thought I need to make a change. And so in 2011, I shut down my construction company, made a complete transition with 7 kids, all of our debt, our home, everything, and came over to the financial industry.
Okay.
100%.
So what were those first, you were successful, you had this thriving business in construction. How were those first 5 years after you made that transition? What was that like?
So I'm not going to lie. It was hard, and it was a struggle. And the biggest thing is creating your why, right? And so I created my why when I quit my company, my construction company, shut it down, and it was sink or swim, right? And so my why became fear, became, I'm going to lose everything. And so it pushed me really, really hard to do what I don't want to do. Every industry has the things that you're scared of or don't want to do, right? And every new startup person either fails because it's too much for them, or they succeed because they have a why strong enough to push them through the hard, right?
Yeah.
And so I pushed through the hard. But I mean, we were used to making a lot more money, and we made less money. My wife, she's like, when are you going to get a real job?
Oh, that happened. Yeah. I tell people, if you're going to be on your own, you have to have the support of that spouse, no matter what you do.
Yes.
Because you are sun up to sundown. Yeah. Wow.
And I got offered a job to be a manager of a sizzler, making $50,000, maybe $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hun, I can take this job, but that will be our life going forward. And I says, or we stick with this and it will be successful and we'll have a great lifestyle, but we'll just have to pay the price a little bit here. And, she'd say, well, when is that going to happen? And I says, well, I don't know the exact day that I'm going to be successful, but I know it's soon, and I have faith.
Yeah.
Right. And I pushed forward.
Wow. So I always say the first 2 years are the hardest, right? And because you're figuring it out, you're figuring out what you like to do, what you don't like to do. You've made some connections, and then you kind of move forward from there. So, Mike, the first 2 years are the hardest. What would you tell somebody that's looking to be a business owner or an entrepreneur? What would you tell them? I mean, I think you've talked about a why, the book, The Guy That Burned the Ships, they couldn't retreat. It was either, they're going to fight through this and conquer, or they're going to die. But what would you tell someone who's starting out?
So that book is Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, you guys.
Okay.
And one of the best books written, and he wrote it, like 100 and something years ago, but it is so pertinent to just the people business, sales, and being successful. So somebody new starting out, here's the thing. You've got to find a why. You've got to find a why that's going to drive you through the tough, through the hard, through the things you don't want to do. See, the biggest addiction a human being has, stronger than any addiction out there, is the addiction of the approval of others. And that kills people. We go out and here's the thing too. I was talking about this in a seminar I was given a couple weeks ago. the people that are closest to us can be our worst critics and enemies in the start, right? And I ended up showing a commercial that was put out by GoDaddy, the web, the website. And it talked about, when I started my business, I struggled until I found GoDaddy, and now I can tell all the doubters to stick it. And I showed this commercial, and she goes around telling like her husband, stick it, and to her grandma, stick it, and her neighbor over the fence, stick it, right? And I told people, I said, look, I don't want to tell people now that I feel like I'm fairly successful. I'm not where I want to be, okay? But in the terms of, wealth and things, I'm successful.
Sure.
I don't want to go and tell people to stick it, right? And send them cards and say, you guys stick it because you guys did not believe in me and doubted me all along, right? But I do it in the way I live, my lifestyle. And people see me in all these associations that I have and had, right? See me and they're like, okay, he did it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say in your face because there's enough in your face as it is, right? But they need to find their why and they need to push through. I was working 2 jobs. I was doing this part-time. I'd come home deadbeat tired, shower, change into nice clothes, and then go out in the field in the evenings just to get it going, right? And it was tough. You're tired. You don't want to do it. And you've got to push through 2, 3, 4 years until you can quit that other thing that you're doing and then become what you want to become and have the lifestyle you want to become.
As I do these interviews and people that I talk to, the common thing that I see is the difference between somebody who succeeded and somebody who failed is we just got back up and we just fought through. And I've used the analogy of, have you heard the analogy about the cows and what they do in a storm and the buffalo? You heard this analogy?
No.
I'll share it with you. So in a storm, cows will huddle together and they will run away from the storm. They'll run away. Buffalo will herd together and run right through the storm.
Face it.
Because they know on the other side, there's rainbows. And it's amazing to hear those 2 analogies. And that's us as people. Are you the buffalo that's going to hit that fear head on? Or are you going to huddle together and run?
That's interesting because everybody tells you to make your goals.
Yes.
Right? Make your goals, read them twice a day. Well, that's tough for me. Okay. That's tough. I'm a visual. And so in my bedroom, I have a framed cork board and it's a vision board.
Yeah.
So my goals are visual, right? And so the things that I want to obtain are all visual on the board. And when I get them, I put them up. And when I get them, I date it and I put them in a book. So anytime I feel down or like I'm not accomplishing anything, I go back in the book and can see all the things that I accomplished. And you know what, you guys? In the beginning, they were little. Like I needed a new laptop. And so it was like a picture of a laptop. That's my goal. I need a new laptop. And I
want to make enough money to make the mortgage payment this month.
Right. So they were little. And now my goals are bigger. Like I want a cabin, right? And I have a picture of something beautiful that is, exactly what I want. And on my corkboard, and this kind of goes with your little analogy, I wrote this years ago, and it says, I choose to be in the arena. I get knocked down. I get the bruises and the bumps, but I always get back up. I am never a spectator. And I signed it.
That gave me chills, Mike.
And I read it every day. And I know that I don't want to be a sideline guy.
Yeah.
I want to be in the game, right? And my family deserves it, right? And here's the thing, you guys. Who is the hero in your story? Who's the hero in your story? If not you.
Yeah. You're
the hero for your wife and for your kids. Okay, who else would it be? And so be that hero. Be the warrior that every one of us has a warrior in us, but some of us choose not to fight. Most of us choose not to fight, right? So turn that warrior on and fight to live the lifestyle that you want. All of your dreams and goals are just on the other side of your fears.
That's like the buffalo. You got to run through the storm. You have to run through that storm. So, Mike, I appreciate being on the show today. Any last minute thoughts? Well, two things. Where do you want to take this the next 5 years, right? Where do you want to see that going? And then any other last thoughts you'd like to share with the audience?
I love that. So I just turned not just turned 50. I'm 50. Okay. And in the next 2 years, I'm going to take my business over 500,000 a year. By the time I'm 55, I'll be at $1 million a year.
Wow.
That's
guaranteed.
That's my goal. And I will hit that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it'll be up from there. But the goal to just make $1 million a year is a big deal to me. And you know what? I'm going to share this.
Yeah.
You know, people might, I'm just a high school degree here, right? I went to some college. I dropped out because I had too many kids and a family and I needed to support. And everybody says you have to have a degree to make something in your life. And I'd say that's bull. And I'm going to show them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got family members that got a master's degree and I make way more money than them, right? And it's not a competition. It's just, look, people told me what I can and cannot do.
Yes.
And I'll show them what I can do and will do, right? I'm so excited, you know, $1 million a year. That's a big deal.
Sure it is.
And my goal is not for money and success. My goal is for freedom. I'm all about freedom. I don't want to be owned by anybody. I don't want somebody to tell me I can go to the bathroom at these times. I can get off work at these times. I can go on vacation at these times. I'm not living that life.
Yeah.
I want to be a free man.
Once you get a taste of that freedom, I don't think I could ever, I'll never work for somebody again. I mean, I will be doing what I love to do forever and ever and ever with that freedom.
Me too.
And I bought my time back. You know, it was hard, but it was worth it.
I would do it over and over again, knowing what I know now.
Correct.
Right? The taste that we've had and knowing what I know now, I would do it over and over and over again to get where I'm at.
I know in our business, we're always recruiting, and we know that there's people out there that can and will succeed. They just have to be willing to do it. And someone offered me an opportunity and I took it. Someone offered you an opportunity and you took it. And you look back and you're like, everybody should take that opportunity. And I mean, it just changes people's lives.
It's in everybody.
Yes.
Everybody has it in them to win. You just got to dig deep and find that.
Yeah.
And then have faith. So SFT, see it, feel it, then trust. Trust the people that are teaching you, trust yourself, and go make it happen.
Yeah. Mike, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and being on the show today. I'm glad I finally tracked you down. And always share, like, and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Ty Brady Way. As always, share, like, and subscribe. Go to Instagram at ty.r.brady. And as always, love hearing from you. And let me know what you want to learn on the show or what you'd like me to bring up on the show. Thanks.
You can find the Ty Brady Way on Instagram as well as Facebook. To stay connected with giveaways and Ty himself, go ahead and follow at ty.r.brady on Instagram as well as Facebook. This podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Whitney Face Media Marketing. The theme music is an excerpt from Hot Chicken of the Woods by Isaac Joel.